Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Since the formal entry of human society into modern history, when exploring historical civilizations, many events with tracing difficulties have gradually emerged. Examples include the Egyptian pyramids, ancient Mayan culture, the pygmy population of Sumatra, and the Sanxingdui relics unearthed in Sichuan, China, all of which are hailed as unsolved mysteries in history. Among them, the Sanxingdui relics stand out in the realm of historical enigmas due to their ancient history, strange shapes, and elusive origins. With their surreal appearance, they have gained wide popularity in contemporary society, and many people are curious about the history of these artifacts that resemble extraterrestrials from science fiction movies. So, what is the mysterious origin of these uniquely shaped relics, and what was their purpose at the time? And what caused their decline? In 1929, a farmer named Yan Daoqing accidentally dug up a pit filled with jade artifacts while he and his son were digging a ditch in a small village in Sichuan. Although Yan Daoqing was just an ordinary farmer, he knew that he had discovered something valuable. Soon, Yan Daoqing's discovery caught the attention of the local county magistrate, Luo Yucang. In 1934, Luo Yucang invited Gu Weihan, the director of the Huaxi Museum, and his staff to form an archaeological team, but the research only lasted for a short 10 days. At that time, society was unstable, and it was a period of war. People were preoccupied with their own affairs, and the research could not proceed smoothly. Although the research came to a halt after only 10 days, it yielded fruitful results. Gu Weihan compiled a Han Prefecture excavation briefing based on these research findings for future understanding. The research project was restarted when everything had settled. Starting in 1950, archaeologists gradually resumed the study of Sanxingdui. The archaeological team, composed of the Sichuan Provincial Museum, discovered other areas near the original Sanxingdui site where jade artifacts were buried, forming a dense cluster of sites that vaguely constituted a Sanxingdui tribe. This discovery led scholars to speculate that this cluster of sites could very well have been the central city of an ancient country. In order to confirm this speculation, in 1980, large-scale excavation and research work began at the Sanxingdui site. Archaeologists unearthed a large number of gold artifacts and categorized and analyzed the relics to determine their chronological relationships. Most of the relics were made of gold and bronze and were believed to belong to the Qing Dynasty period. The complex local terrain and inaccessible transportation routes made it difficult for cultural changes from other regions, even those passing through the Yangtze River and Yellow River basins, to reach this area. Therefore, the origin of the Sanxingdui civilization is in Sichuan. Based on the clues they had, archaeologists dated the Sanxingdui civilization to the Shu state during the Qing Dynasty, around 4,800 years ago. Although the era has been identified, the mysteries surrounding the Sanxingdui relics remain unsolved. These bronze artifacts have unique and sturdy designs and are well preserved. It is evident that the Sanxingdui relics were intentionally buried. However, the reasons why people at that time buried a large number of these strangely shaped bronze artifacts and their peculiar uses at the time remain unclear. Before the exploration of Sanxingdui, scholars believed that Chinese civilization spread from the Yellow River basin to the rest of the country. The Sanxingdui culture, however, proved that the area near Sichuan also fostered a culture no less significant than that of the Central Plains. The discovery of Sanxingdui pushed historical research back to a more ancient era. The unearthed artifacts from Sanxingdui are not only exquisitely crafted but also possess unique shapes. These eye-catching designs were likely influenced by the prevailing culture, but the question remains, which culture gave rise to these enigmatic artifacts with unclear purposes? In addition to the Sanxingdui-style bronze artifacts, the bronze objects discovered in the Bashir region differ from those of the Qing Dynasty, indicating that Sanxingdui served a distinct purpose. Archaeologists speculate that the emergence of this series of bronze artifacts in Sichuan is related to the history of the Shu state. In ancient times, the Qing Dynasty was established, while the Xia dynasty was defeated in battle and forced to migrate to the remote and treacherous Bashu region with limited transportation routes. The migrants from the Xia dynasty introduced their original culture to the Bashu region, intermarried with the local inhabitants, and established a secluded paradise known as the Shiweidiyuan, which provided a sense of security based on the local geographical environment. Due to cultural collisions, the local region gave birth not only to the bronze utensils commonly used by the Shang dynasty but also to the creation of Sanxingdui, which incorporated elements of the local culture. The purpose of the Sanxingdui artifacts is not obvious, other than being buried by the inhabitants at the time. It is evident that the purpose of creating the Sanxingdui artifacts was for burial. Based on this characteristic, scholars have found that burying the Sanxingdui artifacts was likely part of a special ritual in the local area. This speculation seems reasonable because historical records indicate that the Xia, Shang, and Zhou periods did practice the burial of objects as a form of ritual. However, the scale of this burial site is quite grand, indicating a spectacular ceremonial scene. What event occurred that prompted the people of the Shu state to hold such a magnificent ceremony remains unknown. Considering the history of the Xia and Shang dynasties, this ceremonial event is likely related to the downfall of the Shang dynasty. King Jia of the Xia dynasty ruled with cruelty and disregard for the well-being of the people, leading to widespread suffering. Seizing this opportunity, the Shang dynasty seized power, overthrowing the Xia dynasty and establishing their own rule. In the following years, the Shang dynasty flourished culturally until the reign of King Zhou. When King Zhou ascended the throne, he had a penchant for warfare, causing constant conflicts in the east, which severely depleted the country's strength. He showed little concern for the livelihood of the people. The weakened governance and internal conflicts led to the rise of the Zhou dynasty, putting an end to the rule of the Shang dynasty. The event of burying the Sanxingdui site coincided with the downfall of the Zhou dynasty, and based on the similarity between these two historical events, it is difficult to ignore the connection between them. Some scholars speculate that the Shu state was established by remnants of the Shang dynasty. After the fall of the Shang dynasty, this news reached the Bashu region, and the people of the Shu state held a large-scale ceremonial activity to fulfill ancestral traditions. They buried a significant number of Sanxingdui bronze artifacts as a way to honor and console their ancestors. The history of the Xia dynasty is also shrouded in mystery, much like the enigma surrounding Sanxingdui. From the historical records of the Shang dynasty, there is no mention of the Xia dynasty. The records about the Xia dynasty only start from the Zhou dynasty, leading some people to doubt the existence of the Xia dynasty. Although the discovery of the Sanxingdui relics provides some indirect insights into the history of the Xia and Shang dynasties, the difficulties in tracing back to ancient times make these mysteries unresolved. The discovery of Sanxingdui emphasizes the solemnity and grandeur of ancient history, and it is believed that in the near future, the mysterious veil surrounding these peculiar artifacts will be unveiled. This is History and Culture channel. Like and subscribe are the biggest help and support for us. Thank you everyone. See you next time.